Hello, hello! It's me, Angelina. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, my least favorite books of 2020. Or perhaps the worst books I read in 2020. I don't know what the title of this video is going to be. It's one of those two. So you clicked on the video, you're here for the tea, you want to know which books I don't like. I have 8 books to show you guys today. 8 books I did not like this year. Which really isn't that bad. You know, I've seen some videos where it's like 15 books I hated this year, so 8 is not that bad. These books were just kind of like, they weren't awful, but they just didn't do anything for me. They just were not it. I just didn't like them. That's really all there is to it. I don't feel like I need to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways because I don't want you people to come for me. This is just my opinion. These are just the books that I personally did not like. If these books are some of your favorite books in the whole wide world, well then that's fine because you have your own opinions, I have my own opinions, we have different reading tastes, and that is okay. I will also be linking my favorite books of 2020 video up here and down in the little description down there. So go watch that when you finish this one. Okay, let's get started. Coming in on the bottom of our list, at number 8, is The Wedding Date by Jasmine Gilroy. This book is on the list because I didn't even get to chapter 2. I put it down after the first chapter. This just wasn't it for me. I was excited about reading this book for so long. For years I had seen it like in Target and it was always a pretty cover and I was like, that looks pretty. I like weddings. I like romance. I want to read this. And then I read the first chapter and I was like, no. The premise of this book is that 2 strangers get stuck in an elevator, and while they're in the elevator, the girl decides to be this guy's fake date to a wedding because he's the best man at the wedding of his former best friend and ex-girlfriend. That's all I know because like I said, I read the first chapter and I just didn't like it. I didn't like the writing. No. Goodbye. I don't really have anything to say besides that because I only read the first chapter. So, bye-bye. Coming in at number 7 is a book that I feel like might hurt some people's feelings. Let me show you. Are you ready? That is House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, the first book in her new series, Crescent City. Now, I did read the entire book. The rest of these books I read in entirety. I should have just stopped reading if I didn't like them, but okay, here's the deal with this book. I can't decide how I feel. It wasn't terrible, but I did not enjoy it. It just bothered me. I don't know what it was. I think maybe the world building I just did not like. I was constantly confused. I never knew what was going on. The characters annoyed me. I felt like it was 500 pages too long. How long was this book? This book had 100 chapters and it had 800 pages. 800 pages, and I honestly felt like the story could have been done in like 300. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being dramatic because I love Sarah J. Maas. I know that a lot of people dislike her books now. Like during high school, everyone loved them. But now I've been hearing from a lot of people my age that they just don't like Sarah J. Maas. But I loved Throne of Glass and Court of Thorns and Roses. I grew up on that series. So I was really expecting something great from my girl and she just let me down. Maybe if I read this in high school, I would have enjoyed it more. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know why I didn't like it. It's beautiful. What was the plot? They were trying to solve some kind of mystery. Yeah, I don't know. I won't read the rest of the series. I just don't have the time or patience for it. And, okay, spoiler alert. So if you haven't read this book, go away. Or if you don't care and want to be spoiled, then stay, whatever. But the end of this book, they're having this huge battle scene, and half the time we're watching it through video cameras. Like, that was just so weird. Do you guys know the scene I'm talking about? You know the scene I'm talking about if you read it. The last, like, the huge battle scene, and people are just, like, chilling in a conference room, watching all this destruction happen on tape. It's like, I don't know why, but that was just so weird to me. It was just so bizarre. And this was marketed as an adult book, but it wasn't any more adult than her other books. In fact, I felt like this was more young adult than her other books. Like, there was drugs, but that was the only adult thing. I mean, her books that are marketed as young adult are, like, way worse than this. So, I don't know. Goodbye. We're gonna move on from that because I don't even know how I feel. I'm just confused. Uh-oh. The next one is another one that I'm sad to put on my list. Are you guys ready? Coming in at number 6, we have The Lost Book of White by Cassandra Clare. I know. If you watch my favorite books, you're probably a little confused because another Cassandra Clare book was my favorite book of 2020, and this one's on my least favorites list. Because here's the deal. If you watched, I think it was like my August wrap-up where I kind of ranted about, no, it was my September wrap-up where I ranted about this book, because it was like, what was the point? Okay, my memory card just ran out of storage, so I don't remember exactly where it was, but I think I was saying, if you read this book and you thought there was a point to it, please tell me what the point was. Because I felt like this entire thing, I was like, why do we have this? Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed seeing some of my favorite characters. I love reading about my favorite characters. But it was just so pointless. Them running around solving problems that are irrelevant because literally all the other books have been fine and this happens in between the other books. So like, is this necessary? Is it affecting the overall plot of stuff that has already happened? No, I do not understand why this book had to happen. Now, I will probably read the book after this because I'm just a hoe for Cassandra Clare and I can't help myself. But I probably won't be happy about it when I do read it because it'll probably be pointless too. I don't even remember. Oh no, I do remember it happened. They went to a freaking demon realm. They're always going to freaking demon realms. There must be something else going on in the world, but they went to a demon realm and a bunch of random stuff happened and Jim made an appearance. That was nice. Like, hi Jim. But like, it felt more like I was reading a pointless fanfiction than an actual substantial novel that had purpose and an overarching plot of a series. Does that make sense? I hope so. We're moving on from that one. Coming in at number 5 on my least favorite books of the year is My True Love Gave to Me by a whole bunch of authors, edited by Stephanie Perkins. This book I read to get in the Christmas spirit. And it's a collection of short stories, all little Christmassy romances. I think there's like 12 of them. Some of the stories were just not good. Of course, I don't have to like all of the stories, but for the most part, I was just disappointed by these. I also did not like the summer collection that they did. Now, these came out years ago, so many moons ago, I read the summer collection. And I finally got around to reading the winter collection, and it was just not for me. There were like 1 or 2 stories that I actually thoroughly enjoyed, but for the most part, they were just not for me, not my style. Alright, coming in at number 4, I do not have a physical copy of that book, and that is Unwind by Neil Shusterman. So this is a dystopian book where children can be unwinded at any age. So like up until your 18th birthday, you can be taken from your parents and basically murdered and have your body parts given to other people. So like if your parents do not want you or do not like you, or if you're causing too much trouble, they send you off, they take apart your body and give it to other people who need body parts. Which first of all is freaking creepy. That's terrifying. What? It's a really creepy concept, first of all. I did not like the concept. It was weirded me out. But also, I just thought the writing style was not good. I did not like it. The writing was like, I don't know, it did not feel very developed. I had no interest whatsoever in these characters. I did not care about them. I did not care about their journey. I only read it because I had to for my class. I would have stopped reading by like halfway through probably, had it not been that I had to read it for a class. This book came out like years ago. I don't know if you guys have read it. If you have, let me know your thoughts, because a lot of people loved this book. I don't know how to describe the writing. I think his writing was better in Scythe, or Scythe. I never know how to say that word. This book, I never know how to say the title, but this book, the writing was much better in this book. I think Unwind came out many years ago, so maybe he just wasn't as experienced with writing at that point. I don't know, but either way, I couldn't get into it. I just didn't like it. So this next book I also don't own a copy of. And I had been so excited to read this book for years. I heard about it and the title just seemed so cool. I was only taken in by the title. I had no idea what the book was about. But I was like, yes, I want to read that. And I read it and it was not worth my time. And that is Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore. I don't know what I was expecting this book to be. I guess I thought it was going to be about a normal bookstore and maybe a romance of people who like work in the bookstore, maybe someone who comes in late at night to purchase books. I thought it was going to be a romance. It's not. It's some weird sci-fi-ish kind of book. It's not sci-fi, but it's like weird science-y stuff. I don't know. Basically, this man works in the 24-hour bookstore, and there are like some weird people who come in and purchase these weird books that have just like codes in them, and the codes are like to some great mystery that the secret society is trying to figure out, and there's something to do with like a special font made by someone. I don't know. It was just so lackluster. It just wasn't even very interesting. I can't even describe it to you because I was like, what is happening? Like some weird secret society kind of thing. I don't know. It just wasn't what I wanted it to be, so I guess that's probably why I'm so disappointed. That's all I have to say on that one. Coming in at number 2, we have The Book of Speculation by Eric Sawyer. Or Erica Sawyer. Whatever her name is. I bought this book many, many years ago. Well, I guess not many. Maybe like 2-3 years ago. And it just disappointed. It was so slow. Probably the slowest book I've ever read. But I kept reading it because I kind of wanted to know what was going to happen. But just like barely enough, you know? Enough so I didn't quit reading it, but I was not happy while I was reading it. There's circusy stuff and a mystery about why all these women in the circus drowned on a particular day. And the main character's mother also drowned on that same day that all these circus people have drowned on. And he's like, oh, my sister's gonna drown too, because all these women in my family have drowned on this same date at whatever age. I don't know. I don't even know. What was the point? What even happened? There was like flashbacks to other people in the circus, and then there was him trying to figure out why all these people died in the circus. And it was just so boring and just not at all interesting. If you like this book and you want to defend it, go for it. Defend it in the comments for people, because I can't even tell you what even happened. It is time. It's time for my least favorite book that I read this year. And some of you are about to be very upset with me. My least favorite book of 2020 is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I know this is a lot of people's favorite book, and I know that a lot of people love this series, and I have been trying to read The Raven Cycle for years. For many years I have thought about picking up this book because everyone loved it. So I finally did, and I just didn't like it. I did not like these characters. If you like them, that's fine. That's great for you. But it was not great for me. I don't know why, but all of them annoyed me. I was like, who even are you? Get off the page. There's a girl whose name is Blue, and she comes from a family of like clairvoyant people, like, you know, those people who can see the future and ghosts in the past and like tell your fortune. So she's from that family with like magical fortune telling abilities kind of thing. And this girl Blue has always been told that she's gonna like kiss her true love and then he's gonna die or something. And then she sees this spirit who she's like, oh, that's my true love, and it ends up being this dude who's still alive and goes to a private boarding school, who's rich. And things happen. They're trying to find this magical dude who's dead on like a ley line causing magic. I can't even remember who that guy is. And it's really bothering me. Who is that dude they're trying to find? Okay, I had to look this up because I can't even remember. But one of the boys, the one that she's like destined to fall in love with or something, is searching for Glendower, who's the long dead Welsh king, who he believes is like special. And he's like supposed to find this dead king. And he has like all of his friends with him, and they're searching for this dead king. I felt like these characters didn't accomplish anything they set out to do. Like, maybe that's why it's a series, so that they can resolve the issues by the end of the series. But like, you should at least resolve like something in this book. Instead, you just find out a whole bunch of random information. I haven't thought about this book since I read it. I read it and I was like, that was a waste, and tossed it aside. Okay, that's all the books that I disliked this year. I hope I didn't offend you too much. If any of these books are your favorite books, I'm sorry that I didn't love them, but some things are just not for me, and that's okay. So if you have any really good books that you read this year that you think I would enjoy, let me know. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Go check out my favorite books of 2020, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!